Good morning, yogis. Are we ready to do some yoga this morning? I am. I hope you are too. Let's come to seated on our mat. I like to start and end in seated just to kind of notice the difference from before and after a practice. Like notice how I feel physically, emotionally, mentally. And so let's come to seated and sit still. Let's find stillness here in the beginning of our practice with a long spine, noticing our breath. Yogis, I've been practicing without any music, so I invite you to turn your music on, whatever you like. I can share some of my Spotify playlists with you if you'd like. I can't upload the videos without, because of the copyright issues, so I just wanted to let you know that. If you wanted to play your own music, to go ahead and do that. And also, if for any reason it goes in or out, you can't hear me or you see me, just kind of do your own thing until it comes back. It usually comes back. So go ahead and do that. And again, if you feel like you'd like to share the videos, please do that, or save them. You can do that too. I'm compiling them onto YouTube so that they're in one place, but that's taking me some time. All right, with that all being said, let's come back to our breath. And let's sit quietly with our breath for just a few moments. And as we sit quietly, we'll notice what's sort of bubbling up to the surface in our mind's eye. What's sort of leading in there. And just notice it, sit in awareness with it. Let's let the breath be long and slow, fully inhaling the lungs, deep breaths in and out, noticing the belly rise. So when we notice what happens with the breath in our body, we pay attention to that. That becomes our awareness. In my meditation practice, I use a mantra, a word, or phrase that helps to keep me from letting the thoughts take over. So I invite you to do that during our yoga practice today. And it's just a gentle reminder. Everything in this practice should be gentle on your body. It's an all levels practice. So let's start to just add a little bit of movement from side to side here. Letting the spine sort of make that S curve from side to side. Just adding a little bit of sway with the breath, feeling the freedom of the body moving. Please feel free to take any variations that you like during the practice today. Please add if you want more power and take away if you want more rest. Making this sway a little bit bigger, maybe putting your hands onto your thighs and coming around in some circular motions, coming all the way around to the front and to the side, letting the hips stay rooted into the earth as you move around in these big circles. And go the other way. Coming to seated cat-cow. So take those circles as long as it feels good, and then we're going to come to seated cat-cow, long spine, and then round and curl, cat stretch. And so we'll continue that inhale and exhale, long spine, and then cat stretch. And do that a few times. Moving towards a twist, reach your arms up to the sky and twist to the right. It doesn't matter which side you go to first, as long as you do both sides. Eventually, look over the back shoulder. Maybe walk the hand closer to your body, creating that second spine and lengthening up towards the ceiling. Reach up again. Open the fingertips. Maybe take the hands, clasp them behind you, lift the head open. And then we twist on the other side. So yogis, whether you're live right now doing this practice or whether you've saved it and are doing it later, I want you to really understand for yourselves what a great thing you're doing. Anytime you move your body and breathe, it's good for you. Curl your toes, let your belly drop, tabletop, cat-cow. And so we move energy out of the body as we move and breathe. Breathing is really going to help keep us mentally where we need to be. You can take this tabletop into child's pose, long extended spine in child's pose. And then you can come forward and drop into the hips, maybe even bring the feet up for a quad stretch. So again, just kind of moving really slowly with the breath, connecting the breath and the body. That's the yoga. And letting the mind stay soft and focused in the moment, which is right now in the breath. So whatever feels good right now, let's freestyle some movement, and you'll know what your body needs as you start to move. You'll feel it in your low back or your mid back or your hips or your wrists or your fingers or your toes. So maybe you want to stretch wrists. So do something that feels good for your body right now. Slow movement. Maybe it's just wagging the tail, releasing the hips from side to side. And so I started to say that this is such a good thing you're doing for your body and for your mind and for your soul. And I don't know how you've been, but I know that there's a million things I have been saying I could be doing, but I can't seem to motivate myself to do them. And I keep thinking, well, what's wrong with me? Now I have all this time. And, you know, we do have a lot of time right now to do a lot of things, but we're also under a considerable amount of trauma and stress. So please don't beat yourself up. Please don't do that to yourselves, what you should and could be doing, because you're doing the best you can right now. And so am I. Coming back through tabletop, let's move the right arm to the center and the left hand to the hip for a twist. Reach the hand to the sky. And then go ahead and take some circles. So many of us are still working, having to change the way we do things. Our students are having to learn. Our parents are becoming teachers. A lot of things are happening in our lives at the same time. Things we're not ready for, things we weren't trained for, things we're not prepared for. And so don't lose sight of that as you are beating yourself up for not learning a new language, right? Go ahead and take a twist. Or maybe there's these other things on your list of things that you should be doing. And so yogis, please keep it in perspective and ultimately be kind to yourselves and others with no judgment. Big twist to the side here. And then go ahead and reach the hand back up. We'll switch sides. The left hand comes down to center. The right hand reaches for the hip and we twist. And reach. Remember, if you do one side first and then the other, it doesn't matter if you follow exactly what I'm doing. As long as you are moving, you're doing great. Reach, and then twist, threading the needle underneath and through. And let's come back to tabletop again. Balancing tabletop, take the right hand out and the left foot back. You can leave the foot on the earth and really press back into that Achilles and the calf as you reach the right hand forward. Notice what's happening in the belly. Mine tends to sag here, so pull it up and in, really engaging the spinal muscles and the core muscles. And then we'll lift that back leg up for balance if you like. Continuing to breathe. Bend the foot to the sky and then kick the ceiling away, up and away, glute. You feel it. Take the right hand out to the right, maybe reach it back energetically, or maybe it catches the foot, kick up, quad stretch. Again, notice what's happening in the belly, lift it up, 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 kick the foot up and away. Beautiful. Reach the hand back out and down to the earth, open out, knee down, half moon, lift the leg up. Quad stretch on the opposite leg now, if that feels appropriate. Breathe. The breath is long and slow and steady. We release back out, gate pose, just kind of tip over, arms come to a T. And then the front hand reaches to the sky, beyond the ceiling. And then maybe look at your foot and reach a little bit further. Cartwheel back to table with the leg floating. And one sunbird bow, tap the chin and chest. 4 on the floor. Go ahead and wag the tail from side to side. Tuck the toes and lift up, turbo facing dog. Getting off the knees, maybe taking a little bit of walking the dog here. Bending and straightening into opposite. Really feeling the side body open and stretch. When you press the one heel down and sit with that and twist a little bit, you might feel that outside of that hip, the backs of the legs. Just let it feel really good. Try not to dump the weight into your hands, but really concentrate on the back body here, melting the chest. Lengthening the spine. Remember to add your own music. If you missed that bit in the beginning, go ahead and put on Pandora or Spotify or whatever playlist you like. I'm going to be sharing mine with you so you can go ahead and listen to some of my playlists while I practice at home. Let's take the left hand out and the right foot back and really press through the back of that heel and the calf. And reach forward. Notice the belly. And then lift the back leg up. Breathe. Spinal balance. So really feeling the core, the back, and the front engage here. Pull the belly button up into the spine. The eye gaze is down. The right knee bends, the right heel lifts up to the sky. If you can, reach for the foot or energetically reach for the foot. If you do catch it, let's kick it up and open. Feeling the quad stretch, shoulder open. Breathe. When we release, reach it all the way out again. The left hand comes down, we open up, knee down, half moon. Open up. You can stay right here, or you can reach again for the quad stretch. Letting the chin open, throat chakra open. Speak your truth with love, even with your quarantine buddies. So when things get a little tangled emotionally with your quarantine buddies, speak your truth in love. We're all really in this together. Release and take your right hand down. Sunbird bow one time. 4 on the floor. Turbo dog. Bend your knees. Press back into your thighs. Turbo dog. Feels so good. Turning this into a down dog by straightening as much as you can and melting the chest back to the thighs. Shake your head yes. And then shake your head no. And then gently walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold again. Inhale, rise to a back bend of your choice. Maybe take your hands behind your head. And then hands down to your sides. Mountain pose. Coming back to the breath, drawing the shoulders up, back, down, and away. Inhale, sweep to the sky. And exhale, fold down to the earth, bend the knees on the way. Inhale, lengthen. Walk back to plank or tabletop. Either just press back to down dog and skip the vinyasa, or go ahead and take the vinyasa either all the way down to hover or all the way down to the belly with straight legs or bent. And then when you get to where you are, whether it's the earth or hovering, we open up cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back, child's pose. Take the knees as wide as your mat and pull back into that child's pose, lengthening the spine and coming up on the fingertips. Wrists and elbows lift also. Crown of the head touches the earth. Extended child's pose. Walk the fingers out a little bit further, lengthening the spine more, letting the hips be on the heels as much as they can. And then go ahead and walk this over to the right side of your mat. Finding space in the left side body. It's really important in our practice to find space in the body. And you are the only person who knows where that space is. I can't tell by looking at you. I can't tell even if I was in class and adjusting you. You know where that extra space is. And so we breathe into that extra space. Walk it a little bit further over, stretch it out a little bit further away, and then come back to center. In our practice, we want to practice moderation as well, just like in life. So we do want to go into those spaces, but be really mindful of not going too far. So this is also an exercise in really knowing yourself, in knowing your limits, and knowing how to push, and how far to go, and knowing it's okay to stop. It's okay to say no. So this is about knowing yourself. Not just some down dogs on a mat, yogis. There's so much going on here. Let's come back to center, downward facing dog. Right leg to the sky, open up, find some space on that side. Let the hips open, elevate, move it around a little bit. You know, just because I can do some postures, some days I don't. And some days I try, and some days I decide to take it easy. Let's take the knee into the nose, pull it up and in. Shoulders over wrists, pull it up, cat stretch spine. Send the foot right in between the hands, low lunge. Take the back knee down, lean forward into that hip flexor. You can keep the hands down where they are, or on a block, or on your thigh, or reach up above, up to you where you want to be. So hip flexor, left side, stretch. Arms can reach up. If that's too much, don't do it. And breathe. Half splits from here, so lean in as long as you like. Maybe tuck the chin to the chest. Again, if you're lifting the hands up to the sky, do that. The next place we'll go is half split. We're going to sit back halfway. Curl the toes up. Just feels good. Lifting the chin off the chest, take the chest low to the thigh. Feel the whole back of the right leg open. Breathing. Coming in for another twist. This time the left hand stays down. The knee can stay down. We're going to take the right hand to hip, or you can lift up the knee. Roll to one or both feet. Drop the hips. Reach the arm up. Or towards me. Twisted lunge. Breathe. And we replace the right hand down where the left hand was. Open up, lunge, twist again. Stay up on the back tiptoe for a moment. If you want more, float the bottom hand. And if you want less, it's warrior foot, which we're heading towards anyway. Let's all take the back heel and send it down to touch. Press through the outside edge of the back foot. Now we're in side angle, traditional. And we're going to press into our feet and legs, rooting down to rise up, warrior two. Looking over the front hand, shoulders drop back and away. Press to the outside edge, sink into front knee lunge, open. Open the palm, reach out. And then float up. Reach up, side body stretch, really reach. Back hand can wrap, any variation you take. Side body open. Warrior two, arms come out. We cartwheel down. Step the back foot up just a little bit, straighten out the front leg, still really in this right leg opening. Parsvottanasana, head to knee pose. You can come up on the back heel. You can lift the front toes. And breathe. Bring the chest low to the thigh. And square the hips if you can. Big, long, slow breaths, using the word or phrase to keep your mind right here in this moment, right here in this head to knee stretch, right here on this yoga mat, right here with this breath. No thoughts of the past or future, just stay in the moment of the flow. Step the back foot up to meet the front. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit back and down. Feel the thighs, feel the legs. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Walk, step, jump, or float to vinyasa, or just step back, down dog. You choose. So maybe you're just taking it easy this morning, or maybe you're taking extra push-ups this morning. I don't know. And you have nobody to impress. Open up hip on hip and make some space. Press back into that leg. Feel the outside and back of the right leg open. Psoas opens, hips open, wiggle the toes. Knee comes into chest. Knee comes to forehead, shoulders over wrists. We step through gently between the hands. And the back knee, the right knee now leans down into the earth, and we lean forward into hip flexor. Hands can stay right where they are on the earth or on a block. Hands can come to your thigh or to the sky. Stay with this and the breath. You'll know when you know. And then the next place is half splits. Straighten out the front leg, sit back on the back foot or come halfway up. Lifting the chin off the chest, chest to the thigh, and breathe. Listening to the sound of your breath as you move through this practice, noticing the heart beating, staying right here fully present. Coming forward for lunge twist, right hand inside left leg, back on the knee or lift up the foot, roll to the edges if that feels good or don't, and breathe. Twisting lunge. Replace the left hand where the right hand is. Open up to the other side. If you can stay on the back tiptoe, do that. If not, don't. You can lift that left hand up also and float this. Breathe through it and try to continue to open the shoulders to stack. Like we're moving through water is how we move through this practice. I like to say it feels like a hug from the inside of your body to the outside of your body and then all the way back in again. Let's take the back heel down and slowly rise, rooting down into the earth to rise the body up, warrior two. Flip the palm and offer, stay into the front knee, and then float back. Side body stretch, exalted warrior, any variation that you like. The arms come back to a T, warrior two again. We cartwheel the hands down, frame the foot, step the back foot closer, Parsvottanasana, head to knee on the left side. Everything's open now. We've done both sides. You can lift the front toes, the back heel, whatever feels right to access more deeply the left side. Notice the breath. And we'll step the feet together, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, press the hips back. And now standing all the way up, mountain pose. Balancing tree, right side, right knee up. Try to look at something not moving, a fixed object 6 to 10 inches away. Squeeze into the core, both front and back. Leg is strong. We open out, so it's a hip opener. Foot traditionally goes right up into inner thigh, but can start at the earth, below the knee, above the knee. Half lotus, outstretched expression, yogi's choice. The hands can press to heart center, or can reach to the sky, or any other variation that you like. Maybe move the arms 1 or 2 times while you're in the balance to challenge yourself. Always opening out the right knee so the hip can find more space. Lengthening the spine, noticing the breath. Knee comes to chest. Step down, inhale up. Hands back to heart, left knee up. Tree pose on the other side. Remember, after you find balance, to challenge yourself with the arm gestures. Trying to look at only a fixed point. Where's the breath? Find the center. Knee back to chest, step down, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward, all the way down. Inhale, lengthen, walk, step, jumper, float to plank. We'll lower down on a 3 to 5 count, or maybe you're gonna add push-ups here, up dog or cobra. We meet in child's pose or downward facing dog. Option to take inversion here, option to practice crow or other balances if you want them right now. Like I said in the beginning, it's an all levels flow. You add what you need, take away what you don't. I'm coming in for some more push-ups if you want to join me. You meet in downward facing dog. Right leg reaches, open up hip on hip again. Knee comes into nose, pull it in nice and easy. Step the foot right in between your hands. We're coming up to crescent lunge, high lunge. Option to take the back knee down if that's a little less for you this morning, or option to rise all the way up. On the back tiptoe. Or you can drop the back heel gently. Put a little up dog in here. Crescent lunge. Tap 3 times or stay low. Arms come out like a T. Lean forward and float. Either step forward for balance or float right into warrior 3. Any variation in your arms. And we breathe for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Warrior 1, we float back, put the whole foot down, rise up. Warrior 2, we open back up, and here before. The stance is a little bit shorter. Straighten out the front leg, hips open, turn the back toes open, reach, triangle pose. Using a block or the earth or hovering. Breathe. If you notice your heart rate just got faster, it's because you were balancing. Slow it back down with the breath. Option to take more, if you like. Exalt just because it feels good. Oh. Half moon, we tip it over. So tip the triangle over, Take the hand on a block or the earth, lift it up and out a little bit. Let the back leg open, so triangle flipped on its side. If you can look up, look up. If you want to take a bind, take a bind. Breathe. We'll float back to warrior two, nice and easy. Cartwheel down, lizard lunge. Both hands inside the right foot, open out the right. Take the knee down if that feels good. Take a quad stretch, take an arm balance, take a split, take a pigeon. Whatever you like here. With the breath. Finishing where we began, we engage back into the left leg, right leg up and over, hip on hip, right where we started. Ah, feels so good. Option to come back to child's pose or down dog, or option to bring the knee into the nose, underneath and through the body towards the left pinky. Either take a push up here for an IT stretch, or stay on the right hand and open this up for a wild thing back bend. Fallen triangle, some people call this. Another option for an arm balance if that's in your practice. I'm actually taking it a little easier today. Maybe take a push-up in this position. And then we unwind. Child's pose, seated on your knees. Or maybe an inversion. Or hero pose. Or time for a drink or rest. Take whatever it is that you need. Listen to your body. Maybe put a hand on your belly, feeling the air in your belly rise and fall, one on your heart, noticing your heartbeat, settling down again into our space of moving meditation. Noticing what, if anything, is coming up for you physically, emotionally, thoughts, sitting in awareness of all of it. Sitting in the validity of all of our emotions. I always try to practice gratitude during my yoga practice, so I'd ask you to do the same right now if you're feeling appropriate practicing gratitude. And yogis, I wouldn't be honest if I didn't tell you that anger and fear and all the emotions that we try to steer away from, they're all here for me too. And while they don't serve me right now, they are human and appropriate. So it can't all be rainbows and unicorns all the time, but there can always be gratitude. If you're inverting, or if you're in a back bend or a hero pose, start to venture out of that posture. If you're feeling like you need more power, take some more push-ups here. Don't leave practice saying, she just didn't offer enough power today, because it's up to you. Here, I'll encourage you. Downward facing dog, left leg to the sky, open hip on hip. Find some space there. If you want to take an extra vinyasa or two, go ahead and do that. Bring knee to nose, knee to forehead, step through your hands. Either drop the back knee down gently or rise up, crescent lunge, high lunge. Three times we tap. 1, 2, 3. Little up dog here. Come forward, either step the foot close or just come right into the warrior 3. Arms could be anywhere you like for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Warrior 1, float back. Warrior 2, open. Straighten the leg, triangle pose. Left side. Did I forget to exalt the warrior?
No, you did.
I did forget, right?
No, you did the first time.
If I exalted the warrior, exalted, I can't remember. Exalt triangle, I know I did that one. Tipping it over for half moon using the block, your water bottle, or just the earth. If you took the bind, go ahead and take the bind. Breathe. If you can look up, look up. We'll float back to warrior 2. Let's exalt it because I think I forgot it. If I didn't, it's not a big deal. Coming back through warrior 2, cartwheel down, lizard lunge. The other side may feel and look different than this side. Do what it feels and looks right on the left side. So either come into the elbows, take a quad stretch, take an arm balance, take a pigeon or a split, or whatever you'd like here. We'll re-engage. Left leg floats to the sky where you started. Open up, hip on hip. Bring knee to nose, thread it underneath and through towards the right pinky. Hold for a moment. IT stretch. And then either take a push-up or roll open, fallen triangle or wild thing. Both hands down, maybe take a push-up or another stretch, and then unwind. Downward facing dog. Let's vinyasa together. Inhale, come forward. Take the knees down or don't. Up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet, back of your mat. Heel toe your feet apart, 2 fists. Either take peace sign fingers to wrap the big toe or slide the whole hand under the whole foot.
Bending the knees, opening the chest and heart, lengthening. Padahastasana, Padagustasana. Breathe. And then fold forward. Opening the feet a little wider maybe, coming into a squat here. If you practice crow, you can do that. If you want to take an inversion, you can do that too. Maybe you're just opening up the hips a little bit here. Perhaps closing the eyes and letting this turn into another mini meditation for you. Really concentrating only on the breath. So taking the next maybe 8 breaths or so as yogi's choice, turning this into balance practice or turning this into back bending or inverting or whatever it is that you like to do right now. Or maybe you just sit with your feet together, knees apart, bound angle. Or maybe you just sit in meditation for a moment, or even hero pose. So lots of places for you to go right now, and I want you to go wherever it's appropriate for you to go. Wherever you are, stay there for, like I said, about 8 full breaths. Meeting me in bound angle, Baddha Konasana, seated. Another hip opener. Lifting the chin off the chest, bringing the chest low to the feet. Then go ahead and hug that in egg pose. So pull it in. Touch your forehead to your knees. Pull everything into a tiny, teeny little ball. And then we'll slowly lower down to our backs, maybe on a 10 count or more. So using the strength of your core to lower down, down, down. 2 back bends, bridge or wheel. So I'm primed for bridge pose. My fingertips graze my heels and I lift the hips high. Or you take your hands by your shoulders and lift into full wheel chakrasana. Breathe. Take at least 2 back bends. You can windshield wiper the knees here in between, but try not to curl back into a ball. Second bridge or wheel, yogi's choice, but choose something. Lift the chin off the chest, look straight up. Hips are high. Shoulder blades roll together if you're in bridge. After the second one, windshield wiper your knees again from side to side. Option for plow, shoulder stand, fish, spinal twists, or some core work, some ab work, if that's what you'd like to do. So go ahead and take whatever you're taking. I'm going to take some oblique crunches here with the legs in a spinal twist. If there's any other posture, happy baby, straddle, or anything else you like to take, go ahead and do that. As we find our way into our final posture for a nice long Shavasana today, I'll be doing a body scan meditation as you lay in Shavasana. So if you prefer to stay in silence, you can mute me. If you prefer to listen to the body scan, go ahead and find yourselves in a comfortable position on your back, if that's comfortable. If not, on your side. Hands can be on your belly or on the earth. Allow the air to move freely. Shake your head gently no, getting any last little bit of tension out of your head, neck, and spine. And then begin to just surrender to the earth. Allow the body just to begin to melt. Noticing if the teeth are clenched, and unclench the teeth. Noticing the eyelids softening over your eyes. Feeling the back of your head getting heavier into the earth. Take your tongue and gently rub the roof of your mouth and let it fall back softly. Continuing to notice any tension in the muscles of the face. Soften the ears. And then allow breath to freely flow through your body, feeling your belly rise and fall. Noticing the breath swirling between your toes, allowing that to release any tension in your feet. The breath swirls around the bottoms of your feet, through your arches, around your ankles. Bringing the awareness of the breath back to the belly and then back down to the legs, swirling through the calves and around the kneecaps, one and then the other. Up through the quadricep muscles, the big muscles in your thighs, and then back to the back of the legs, the hamstrings. Being aware of the breath as it comes in and out of the body, noticing again any tension in the face, the teeth, the eyelids. Allowing that energy, that prana, to swirl from the right hip and then to the left, through the low back and through the pelvic bowl. As we breathe deeply into these places, we feel the release of tension in the lower body. The legs begin to feel heavy but supported by the earth. As the breath continues to be strong and full and even, noticing the softness in your belly, in your low back, as the breath makes its way through the vertebrae of your spine, you feel them one by one release into the earth. Breathing deeply to the space between your fingers and now into your hands, noticing your hands relax, your wrists release, forearms and elbows. Biceps and triceps, noticing again the breath in your belly, relaxing the muscles of your face, noticing if you've reclenched your teeth. From the left shoulder, swirling through the collarbone and to the shoulder girdle, to the left, to the right, the swirling breath relaxes the chest. The mid and low back are completely released, and now through the vertebrae and the cervical spine of your neck, shake your head gently again, no. letting the head just release and relax into its place. Taking big, slow, deep breaths. The body is soft and now heavy. Yet there's a lightness in you and around you. Imagining the floor of your yoga mat has become a cloud, the biggest, fluffiest, pinkest cloud that you've ever seen. And you're in the center of that cloud, completely supported in the softness. Once again, softening the eyelids and the jaw, feeling this complete sense of peace. Letting the breath be long and full and slow. Letting the mind be soft like the cloud. As thoughts enter, let them gently pass on until the next, and allow that to gently pass as well. Noticing the breath as it comes into the body and leaves the body. Continue to allow yourself to fall deeper into this place of relaxation and peace. Your body may feel like it's literally glued down to the earth now. Start to bring some movement into your fingers and toes first to begin with. Maybe close and open your hands. Blink open and close your eyes. And then gently curl to the right or the left side, finding fetal position, curling knees into chest, using your arm as a pillow. You can stay here for as long as you need. Or when you're ready to come back to seated, if you're ready to come back to seated, come back to seated slowly. If you're back in seated, long spine, another scan of the body, another scan of yourself. Yogis, I encourage you to be gentle with yourself and be gentle with the others around you. This truly is unprecedented time. We have never experienced this before. Now more than ever, don't doubt yourself and what you should or shouldn't be doing. You're doing the best you can. Continue to breathe and move your body. Be kind, be safe.
Until our paths cross again, I wish you peace, love, light, and health in abundance. Thank you so much for allowing me once again to guide your practice. It's truly an honor. Namaste.